Well, good morning. Cheers. Happy stream day. Happy stream day with half a cup of coffee. What you going to do? Hello, everybody in chat. Yes, welcome to Unexpected Maker Farm Animals. Yeah, moo, woof, neigh, oink, bah. It's my fault. I always open with moo, moo. How's everyone doing? Everyone had a good week? Good 2 weeks. I didn't stream last week, did I? No, I didn't. So, yeah. Some gang present, others to arrive really soon. Some gang present? Furry chat. Yes, we'll have to get into our furry costumes. I wonder what all your furry spirit animals are. I don't know what mine would be. I'm not sure I want to go there and have a think about that. But Bruce never asked for an animal. Well, sorry. My coffee's half cold. I should go downstairs and microwave it, but it's hardly worth it, right? There's 2 mouthfuls left. So, what's new, everyone? Anything exciting? Tell me something exciting. Tell me some world tech news that I don't know. I've been living under a rock. I've been just mainly focused on client work. Had a couple of milestones over the last week and a bit, which has been good. I have one client product done, prototypes in their hands, the final prototype, pre-production, and they're just confirming their firmware, and then I'll go into production of that. And I've got another one that the final design is being fabbed right now, and it's the I have to build 5 prototypes of that, but 3 of them are going into testing. So that's exciting, and then we'll go into first production run of that. And the ongoing work with other stuff. It's been pretty cool. Well, there was a super low-cost Microsoft Windows 11 laptop. Of course there is. It's called a lap warmer. Someone wants a low-power Windows laptop. As if anyone wants a Windows laptop at all. Sorry. Too soon. Okay. Well, that's not exciting tech news. What? I just got back from Hackaday Europe. How was it, Jishibu? Was it good? Does that mean all the videos are going to get posted soon? I don't get a lot of time to watch YouTube these days, I have to be honest. Excuse me, and my attention span's quite small, so I skip through things. I haven't really gone through. I watched a couple of Hackaday ones and the Crowd Supply, teardown ones, whatever, but it's been a while since I've sat and actually watched a whole bunch from start to finish. Speedrunning the post-conference flu. Oh, no. Post-conference flu. Is that still a thing? We used to talk about that when I was in the games industry, and we used to, everyone used to get sick after going to San Fran or wherever we went to for GDC, for Game Developer Conference and stuff. So, good to know it wasn't just the game devs. Okay, so Humans are disgusting. They are made of meat. Yes, we are walking meat sacks. We are. With little intelligence. We're no intelligence walking meat sacks. Okay, on that note. So you won't believe, I'll never go to a conference. It's the way the Illuminati get everyone infected. The Illuminati. Let me tell you, I wish I would go sign up in an instant. I definitely want to be part of the Illuminati. I want to be part of a secret association of world manipulators. No, anyway. Well, you can tell that I'm running on vapor at the moment. I don't know what type of vapor though, but anyway. So, do you remember that PCB I was working on? There aren't enough people to say hi chat at the moment, so I'm just not gonna do that right now. I guess I'll wait when more people rock up. But well, there's 17 people concurrently viewing. There's definitely not 17 unique people in chat. I don't know. Anyway, people just don't like chatting, or maybe they're on a device where they can't. Okay, that's fine. Rambling. So, remember that PCB that I started on many streams ago that had 7 USB ports on it, and I was just going in circles on it. Blah blah blah. Well, it's not finished. but. Matt's still waking up. Sorry, Matt. I actually thought of making this one 6:30 today, but I didn't. Don't want to punish the Aussies. Cape Cad. Hello, Cape Cad. So, look at this. Check this out. Oh, more people. Hello, Rob. Drifting off to sleep. Oh, no. I'm sorry I kept you up, Rob. We watched June move both of them in 4K HDR with loudspeakers. I really liked them. I enjoyed them. I can't wait for the third one. Yeah, I thought they were great. Okay, before we get on to the piece, now that you brought that up, Bruce, hey, okay, now time to say hi to people in chat. Long day. Yes, I know those long days, Rob. I know them well. Okay, I'm just going to really say hi to folks in chat then. Let's get out of the way. Jishipu, hello. Mr. England, oink. How you doing? John, hello, John Clayton. Graham, hello. Infamy 4K, hi. Matt, pro engineer. Bruce, hi. Cape Cad, I said hello. I'll do it again. Rob, hi. Micron, X-Micron, I apologize. Got the X. There's no Y Microns here. Emery, hello. Just finished a parameterized case in Fusion 360 last night. Very cool. Christian! Hello, Christian. Oh, boy. Christian. FreeCAD. Garbage on Discord. Not garbage. Anyway. We can discuss FreeCAD today if you want. No problems. I'm prepared. I have my ammunition with me. PCTG to print stuff. PCTG. Okay, it's just too many letters. Found some strange way of connecting at TVS on ST's nuclear boards. A strange way? Upside down and inside out? What type of strange way is there? There's either anode to cathode or cathode to anode. How else is there? Sideways? Or are you saying a strange way as in you got it wrong and it doesn't work? About the current though, thoughts on GitHub and those moving to Codeberg and elsewhere. I'm not moving to Codeberg. I have no idea what's going on with GitHub. I do, but I don't use any of the things that it's affecting people with. So I'm okay. I don't know. A TV, multi TVs, TVS, a TVS, a diode, Anyway, so ready for this? Typical Sion. I had no idea that the second series of Andor was out last year. I remember seeing the trailers last year, and I never saw that it got released. I don't sit there just, doom scrolling on YouTube anymore. And so, hey Alan, how you doing? connect in the side to the outside of the PCB. What? No, that's not real. Hello, Peter. Been in the cave last year developing microgrow multi-site environmental control systems. Do you have a URL? I'm going to look now. Hang on. I don't know. Is there stuff online about it? Microgrow in-house control systems. Microgrow. Okay, let's look at this. Have to look now. You mentioned it. You get a plug. Microgrow. Flagship product. Oh, it's gone. So, is this the one? Microgrow, yeah. So, cabinets and motor controls. Oh, check out that neat wiring. Wait, I want to see pictures of neat wiring. Custom cabinets. Oh, where's the pictures of that neat wiring on that main picture? That looks very cool. Controls and automation. This is cool. Made in the USA. Oh, that went too fast. What was that other picture I saw here? The interface. It's funny that you said you're living in a cave, but you're doing stuff for agriculture, which is outdoors. Very cool. How's it all going? I'm assuming this is the one, right? Hey, Mad Techie. Okay. I want to go anyway. So Andor, just sorry, I got to get back to Andor for a second. Andor. So I had no idea that it was out, and so I binge watched it. Oh my god, it was fantastic. I know the whole Star Wars drama and Disney and wrecking it and blah blah and woke whatever blah blah blah, but that's not Andor. Andor, the first season was great. The second season was unreal. For those that haven't watched it, go watch it. Cool, thanks, Peter. Yeah, I'm keen to hear more. And anyway, I just loved it. So straight at the end of Andor, which is really sad, there's not going to be any more Andor because it ends right at Rogue One. So I jumped into Rogue One and watched Rogue One. I'm just bringing this up because Bruce was talking about watching the Dunes. So I binged Andor and then straight into Rogue One. And I feel like a loss that Cassian Andor's he dies. He dies. Spoiler, he dies in Rogue One. You all know that. And I feel sad there won't be any more Andor. I loved it. It was awesome. I marked safe from Star Wars TV, only the films. No, you should watch Andor. Andor is fantastic. Really, really, really fantastic. It's none of the other rubbish crap. So I think Rogue One is probably Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie. Full stop. And this was the series leading up to that exact movie. So it was really, really, really good. Not in the TV show he doesn't, Tishipu. Does he? Oh, don't spoil it for me. They're never doing another series of that. That was good. I liked it. It was not. It wasn't appreciated as much because it wasn't a Star Warsy. It was a gritty film. It was really, lots of people died and they showed actual, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't a regular Star Wars film where everyone's shooting and no one's getting shot, right? Stormtroopers with million. Anyway, but Rogue One was really, really great. So is it on Prime? No, it's Disney. Disney Plus, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know if that's syndicated to anywhere else, but Disney Plus. But it was seriously really, really good. Really good. Okay, so now let's get onto this. So the PCB is not finished. Uploaded a couple of screenshot proofs in the Discord. Okay. Oh, now I need to look in Discord. So I'm just, is that going to be understandable? Where's the TVS hanging off the edge? Huh? What? I can't understand from this picture. Where's it off the edge? How? Where's it off the edge on here? Did you say off the edge of the board? Oh, I'm missing something. We hate the mouse. Don't be like that. Oh, poor Cassian and/or. Okay, I'll come back to that after, Amu. So the hub board's not finished. Let's focus on the hub. It's not finished, but it's finished, but it's not finished. I'm going to show you. Ta-da! So it's all done except the only thing, or two things I haven't done. I haven't done all of the ground stitching yet, and I can't until I do all of the length matching of the traces, and I can't for the USB. And the thing that's in the way of me doing the length matching for those is I need to find a different stack up that uses a thinner trace. So the normal 50 ohm stack up that I use for all of my products, right, requires a 0.297 something millimeter width trace, and I can't do that. They're too thick, they're too wide. I can't get them into the pins, and I can't get them close enough to each other for this chip. So I need to pick a different stack up that allows me to use a thinner trace. And until I've worked that out, and I just haven't had time, I can't redo those traces and I can't length match them. But I did solve it, as you can see, where everything, all of the USB is on the top layer with no hopping, no layer jumping, which is great. So that was my plan, and I succeeded. And if you look at the signals that they do cross, because you're not supposed to cross any signals with them, even on a 4-layer board, it's okay because the signals that's crossing here are not switching signals. They're either a high or they're a low based on, these are the sense ones, right? So when there's no USB connected, it doesn't matter because these are low, these sense are low. And when USB is connected, they go high and they stay high, which means they're not switching. And if they're not switching, I can cross them. So there are no USB signals, D plus D minus signals, that are crossing any switching I/O. So I'm pretty proud of how I got it all going, right? And it does all work, and I passed DRC, and it even looks pretty good. Look at that. So I've gone vertical for all of them. I really don't understand what these plastic bits are. I thought they might have been for pick and placing, but the model looks like they don't come off. I don't know. They're still in my shopping cart. I haven't ordered them. Okay, thanks, Anne-Marie. Yeah, it was too hard to see from that. So I've got IO0 and reset broken out. I've got IO14 broken out as a user switch. Maybe that can be used programmatically to turn all the USB ports on or turn them all off or cycle between them if you want to manually override rather than connecting to the ESP32 S3 to do stuff. Why have I got that highlighted? And yeah, and I even got some mounting holes in. I couldn't put the mounting holes on the corners. To do that, I would have had to make the PCB wider, and I didn't want to make it wider. I was trying to make this as compact as possible. I've got the power. So this is 5-volt power for the main 5 volts, and this is 3.3 volt. So I've got 2 LEDs on the edge here that I want to see if I can get them visible on the case. And I've got the RGB LEDs, as I mentioned, over here that can be and I'm going to be using light pipes from them all. Hey, Johnny, how you doing? Uploaded another screenshot highlighting the TVS. Okay, I don't understand what it was about this TVS. That's standard. What do you mean? That just looks like one of the normal. What are they? I can't remember the name of the part. TVS's dual TVS. How is that? I don't understand. What's the problem with this? This TVS? I used to use something like that in a SOT 666 package, but now I've gone to individual TVSs. Adam, Alan, Bill, Fred. Okay, I'll wait for Amy to reply on that. So, it's all routed. Hello, Peter. So this will function. Like, I believe, I'm pretty confident that I could get USB 1.1 out of this, no problem. And look, and USB 2.0 may work, but I'm not going to get this fabbed until I've worked out the stack up. But what I do want to do while I'm waiting, and I'll get this sorted this week, and hopefully I'll get it off to JLC. Look at the traces going from the output to output. Output to output. You mean going straight through D plus to D plus, D minus, C minus? Don't you need power on pin 5? Again, that configuration, I've used that configuration before. Under the TVS. Yeah. So you got D plus going here and through, and D minus going through, and ground. I'm still. Is it just that you hadn't used a package like this before? That's pretty standard on this type of package, unless I'm missing something. But normally pin 5's powered. There's normally 5 volts or whatever going into that with a cap next to it. Are you sure there's no cap there? Cap and power on pin 5? Let me let me KiCad ESP32 S3. Do I have older boards? Where's my older boards? D series P8. Had I already moved my Pro S3 then? Let me have a look. Pro S3. I think I already moved my Pro S3 at this point. But I'll show you, I used to oh, here we go. Look. I mean, that's the same that I used to, but I didn't have mine. Are you saying that they're going to be joined and they're normally not joined? Ah, right, like I'm doing here. So your thing was that these are joined. I understand. Right, that's the bit I missed. Well, I can't join them because they're labelled differently. Yeah, that's not right. So where's that? I don't know. I'm not going to comment if that's what they've got, but that's how it should be done. My understanding. So if there's an issue, I don't know. Anyway, you don't know which is which. What does it say on the data sheet? The part I used to use is this one. USB LC6. But I don't use them anymore anyway. I just use small individual ones. Okay, let's move back to here. Whoops. I lost my Discord. Okay, move that back. Cool. Let's go to here. So what I want to do while I'm sorting this out, I want to export it and start working on a case. Yeah, that's okay. Who cares? Whoa. Interesting. I wonder when they're going to fix that bug. A new version of KiCad came out overnight, folks, 10.0.3. I have not downloaded it yet. Okay, so hub. Let's import. So I'm just typing in save. Okay, so now it's going to write it to the right place. If it writes it, success. Yay. Screenshot is on ST's nuclear board. I wonder if that's a mistake on their side. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that layout before either. So you're right. You're very right. Okay. So is Christian still watching? It's funny that you mention FreeCAD. Don't really have a plan on moving to FreeCAD. And for many reasons, the biggest one is I'd have to learn a package from scratch again, and I'm pretty familiar and comfortable with Fusion. FreeCAD also doesn't have post processors for the mills I'm using and router, and so I'd have to do custom. And then I'm familiar with all aspects of Fusion, so whoa, no, go away. Interesting. Didn't want to have that open up. Whoops. Xeon. Good planning. USB hub. I'm just going to drag the file in. Much easier. Step. Okay. So there's the learning curve thing. There's the still not a fan of the UI, whatever thing, and the lack of support for the stuff I need that I'd have to muddle my way through. But that said, I really massively dislike the new separation of parts and assemblies that Fusion have pushed people into, and they don't offer an option for a hybrid mode that lets it work the way it used to. I really dislike working this way, and it pisses me off, to be honest with you. But it's not pissing me off enough to move to FreeCAD, because that's just going to piss me off in many other ways. So, yeah. So for those that aren't aware of what I'm talking about, you now have to, if I go, home's going to show all the things I don't want it to show. So in Fusion, like I've imported this part. It's still importing. It's wonderfully fast because it processes it on the cloud. So in Fusion, you used to be able to drag other components into your thing and move stuff around and work on stuff and use those elements to design your own stuff. And you could, and I get that it made a bit of a mess of things, right? If you didn't have discipline and stuff, I get that. And if there was an update to the hub, you could right-click on it and you could say, and there's an import new change now, but there used to be an update file, and you could update it, and then it would re-update those in yours and whatever, right? Now they have a rule that if you're working on a design, the design can't have a different design imported into it, like as a reference or something. You can only do that in what's called an assembly. An assembly is an assembly of different parts, but you can't then edit your part in that unless you go into their new edit in place process. And their new edit in place process is not reliable. And I've had projects break where they can't link and update each other anymore, which is frustrating. So you have to go back into your design file of the thing that you want to change and change it there when you don't have access to the reference next to it, and then go back into the assembly and update it and then compare and look. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan at all. Why is this taking so long to upload? I don't know. Meanwhile, I'm going to save this at just an empty assembly, and I'm going to call it hub case assembly hub 7, just in case I do a 4-port hub. I doubt it. Not being a Fusion user, it's all a mystery to me. Sure. Here we go. So I can import this into this current design because it's an assembly. Okay, so I'll go import current design. All right, and we probably want to just, let's light flat. Minus 90. Okay, so there's our PCB coming in. Okay, now, even though I can look in this and I can see all the bits and pieces and I can, turn things off and turn things on, what I can't do is modify any of it because I'm in an assembly. So what I can't do in here is say, okay, let's start designing a case, right? So let's say I want to say, this is my, what just happened? Oh, come on, Fusion. If I click on this and say, cool, I want to make a sketch of this. Well, I can't. Right? And if I go, like, there's no, I can go create here for create a sketch, but the sketch can't be in this assembly. I have to create a part that I'm going to do, right? So I have to do another new and go, see here, you can design a part. Oh, wait, when did that come in? Oh my, shut up, Sion. When did that come in? Oh. I've been suffering through another thing that I've been working on, a very complex product thing, and that has multiple, it has like 5 different things that are in an assembly, and oh my God. So let's go. I'm going to do a new hybrid design. And I'm going to save this as, I'm going to save it first. And I'm going to call it USB Hub 7 case. Okay, and I'm going to insert into that the PCB. What the? You're saying they added it 3 weeks ago. I don't know when they added it. I don't know. There's so many updates that have been coming out. Like, it feels like every 2 or 3 days there's a little thing up here that says there's an update of Fusion. Now that's in here, but now I should be able to see. I've got create now. Oh my God. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm not going to do it as part of an assembly. I'm going to delete this assembly. There's also no delete anymore. You can move to trash, but it doesn't actually. Oh, it's currently open. Okay, go away. I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to don't save. Move to trash. And sometimes it stays there and sometimes it goes. Today it went. It depends on connectivity. I think it works like importing from McMastercar. Yeah, like when you import from anywhere that brings in a fixed thing like this here, right? Then you can't modify that thing. You have to break the link to it. So it doesn't. So it's not a dynamic thing that updates. But anyway, okay. So now I'm going to go. I want to go new component. And I'm going to call this case. Okay, and actually, maybe I don't want to do it as a component. No, I'm not going to do it as a component. So that way I can, if I do it as the main root here, I can see both at the same time. So, okay, so I need this. I'm going to go create sketch. I can turn that off now, and I've got this as a reference, right? I can't do that from an assembly. So now I can build my base of the case from this. Bloody hybrid designs. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I'm trying to think what order I want to do this. Do I want to start with a base and then work and do the top afterwards? I've only got 3 mounting holes on here, as you can see, and those mounting holes also need to be able to join a bottom and a top.
Chad has disconnected.
Now, I don't want to use the PCB as a cutting tool. I want to be able to use the geometry of the PCB to shape and reference my case. So, like for instance, when I'm putting holes in, for the buttons, yeah, I could grab these, right? And I can put them into a sketch that then project them into a sketch and then let me cut holes, sure. But I also want to be able to do it to build geometry from. So for instance, in this case, I want to be able to grab, actually maybe I can do it without grabbing them all. Well, let me chain. Yeah, so like I want to grab this outline of the PCB, yeah, project and cut, right. And I want to say, well, my wall thickness of the case, let's make it just 2 millimeters, right? So I'm doing an offset of 2 millimeters here. And the PCB is 1 millimeter high. I need to actually, even though I've got these as a reference, they're not in the sketch until I grab them and copy them. So actually can I double click these? I wonder if I can double click these now. Oh, I can, good. Right, so I'm gonna copy and paste those in the spot. So now I've got that, and I need the mounting hole positions. And what else do I need for the base? That's probably all I need from the base. Now, a few things, like there are not through hole components, but these legs for the USB are going to go through, unless I make this a 1.6 millimeter thick PCB. Right now it's 1 millimeter. And so these legs are going to go through, which means the PCB won't sit directly on the base. So my options are I can put cutouts in the base for those to make sure that there's a gap, or I can just use a thicker PCB. I'd rather not use a thicker PCB. So I might put, so you can see here, if I just hover over it, you can see them all there, right? So if I just put a rectangle here just for now, and one here, because I don't know what my size is. Can't easily have them connected at the same time, but I can now just kind of resize it to fit. And I can just have this, extrude this down 0.6 millimeters or 1 millimeters. Where your screws are, use plastic standoffs in your case. Yeah, I'm going to potentially have flex then on the PCB. Look, I could do that. Okay, I could do this instead. I could have the standoffs built as part of the area that they're going to sit, and then what I can do is so 5, right, and then I can do the same thing up here. As long as I put it in a position where it's not, there you go, it's in between, right? So I can now, and I can, if I put one in the middle, okay, so it can sit on that. Oh, I should really put them in the corners then. I don't know if that's, okay, anyway, we'll see. Right, well, it'll probably have to be a bit taller than that, probably be a millimeter. But that'll allow me to potentially have the screws inset underneath as well. Okay, so if I just finish that for now, I'm going to build this. I'm going to build it backwards. You'll see why in a moment. So how thick is it going to be? Extrude. Need one. That's two. So I'm going to make it overly thick for the moment, and I'll show you why. Okay, so that, and then I need extrude. I need to cut 1 millimeter back here, and that's what the top of the case. So the PCB sits above that, and the case is going to sit 1 millimeter down. Should I make it 2 millimeters? I'll leave it 1 millimeter for the moment. And then I should have done those. Okay, so let's go back to here. Include these. Okay, so now these will be a standoff. So they'll go up. Up 1 millimeter. Why is that one not selected? Okay, so that's what the PCB will sit on. If that makes sense. You should be height related to your layer height when printing. Yeah. Well, that's why I've got them at 1 millimeter, so that'll divide. I try to do everything that way. I don't put any values in that won't be a multiple of my layer height. The problem is that's now sitting too high. Well, the PCB needs to come up now because it's sitting in the things. So if we grab this, so if I was in an assembly, I wouldn't be able to move this now, but I can. It's grounded to parents. Following components may be rigid assemblies. The default component can't move. What? So it's got the same restriction, even though I'm back in a hybrid version. Okay, I can solve that by, this is real painful, but I can solve that by grabbing my original sketch and moving it down 1 millimeter. Oh, it won't let me because it's locked to the freaking thing. Okay. So I'm going to have to move this body down. I don't like doing this. Okay, I'll move the base down. The problem is I'm now moving it away from where the sketch was. Oh, why is all these restrictions? So now it's going to sit like this. Everyone see? Right? I don't want to use joints to connect them together like that. I want to freely be able to move them and not have them connected. Anyway, so that'll work. And then the idea with the top of the case is that the top of the case will screw in from the bottom. So we'll get to the bottom in a second. I need to put inset there for a screw head. And so they'll screw in from the bottom. Anyway, okay, let's just start with this. So we've got a base, rename base. Okay, so just for now, let's mock up a top. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to create a sketch from this. And I want to, I want that, and that. And I want to project them onto my sketch. So that allows you to grab sketch elements from other objects or other sketches that aren't on the same plane and put them on the plane. So now if you see here, those are on my plane now and they're usable by me, even though the base, they were sitting up here and I'm working down here. So you project. So they're there for reference for me at the moment. So I need to grab this outline and I need to give myself a little bit of tolerance. So I'm going to go minus 0.4. So everyone's printer is going to be slightly different. Can you make a... Oh, sorry, that was what you already wrote. So this allows a, I could probably get a bit closer so it's a bit of a more of a press fit and then with screws, but I'd probably start at this. It's going to be screwed in together anyway. So now I'm just roughing this out, right? Oh, you know what else I need? I do need those inner... I need the inner holes. Check those as well. Okay. So now I've got those. So I'm just going to finish this just for now. Sketch. This is the base. Didn't mean to edit it. And this is the top. So if I grab those, make sure it's, yep, grab that. And how tall do I need it? I'm going to extrude. Actually, you know what I can do? If I grab it all, I could shell it. Okay, hang on. What I could do instead, what's my distance? 1.6, obviously. Okay, so I do this instead. If I just grab it all, just for now, and I extrude it up to, how tall do we want the case? Don't forget, there's going to be the base at the bottom, which is going to make it look taller. Just for the moment, right? So if you do the base a different color and then make that, yeah, I'll do it just 15 for now, right? Just for now, it's fine. So new body. Okay. And then I can grab the bottom and I can do a shell. And I want the shell to be 1.6. There we go. That lets me put see, it makes a cavity on the bottom and it gives me a 1.6 thing. Extrude. What to cut with. No, I don't need to. That's the thing. I can do it. If I do it this way, it just gives me the shell that I want, right? And I know the USBs stick out. And I'm kind of okay with that for this first revision or whatever, I guess, until I get the USBs. I'm not 100% convinced these models are exactly correct. So until it's assembled, I'm not really able to tweak how that's going to look. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. So if I, just for now, just to make things nice and clear, Let's get plastic opaque, plastic matte black. So a matte black base. And what color case would we go? What are the mattes have I got? Have I got a matte grey? No. We need a matte pink for Johnny. Is there a matte pink? No. It's a glossy grey. What's if we just for now, if I duplicate that, and if I edit it, and I make it plastic matte grey, because I have matte grey here, although it's a fairly light grey, so I don't know. Okay. So we have this as a starting point. Now I need to, this is top. I need to add in, and go back to my sketch, these areas that are going to sit on the PCB. FAB is the best color. It's fabulous. Osloy, hello. Are you new here? Are you making a USB-C hub for yourself, or do you plan on selling? I actually planning on making them, selling them, and probably releasing the files for them as well. It's not. I'm not going. I don't want to go into the business of making USB hubs, so I'll probably do both. I might do a limited run myself, manufacturing them, and I'll release all the design files, and people can make it their own and modify them or do whatever they want with it. Because it's a the whole point of me doing this USB hub to start with, for those that remember, was I've already done the other design now, by the way. So I needed to verify this new USB chip for use in a client product, but I couldn't redo the client product with it until I'd verified its use and ensured it will do exactly what we want. And so I thought I'd spin up just a test PCB. And this test PCB turned into this really long-term Hub 7 design with an ESP32 for smart control and all sorts of stuff, right? Okay, I don't remember the name, but I apologize. Welcome back then. It's fabulous to have you here. So yeah, this has just turned into a really long project, but it's turned into something that looks pretty cool, right? And might be useful to people, like as a home assistant type controllable product or something. So yeah. So I'm trying to make it something that's a finished product, right? Finished enough. The never-ending story of the hub, yeah. So okay, I need to just make sure that I've got clearance. I gave myself enough clearance for, okay, not for the, so it's only the 3 of them I need for the holes to screw it down. So go back to here. So I'm going to take, why is it not letting me? If I click on this, it should give me the tangent, but it's not. Or did it do it automatically? 180. Okay, maybe. So I need that one. I'm upside down now. It should give me the, so I don't think that's right, but let me, make sure that they are. Okay. Why is it not letting me do it from? Talk to myself a lot. What can I tell you? Okay, so they tangents. I should have done it from the center to start with. Constrain this to that. Yeah, I know, but it should have given it. See, it should have done it automatically. See this? That did it automatically. I should have just gone from the center out, and then it would have been in the exact spot to start with. I thought it was going to recognize it and show me an X where it was, but it didn't do that. That's okay. And I'm going to. It's not what I want. I'm going to fill it that, and oh no, can't do that. Not the sketch level. That's okay. Okay, so I need, and I'm going to have to work out what size they're going to be for insets, heated inserts, heated inserts. Holy moly, whatever the name is. We're going to extrude to there. Okay, so that's going to sit on the PCB. No, it won't. They should have gone down. Okay, I need them to actually, I need that millimeter for the PCB, and I need the height for the thing. So I actually need 1, 2, I need 3 millimeters. That was silly. Extrude 3 millimeters. So if I go to put the base in, let me just save this. I haven't saved in a while. Talk to myself a lot probably works well for live streaming. Well, someone's got to talk, and I'm the only one talking. Hub 7 is a more sci-fi name. Yeah, I don't even know what to call it. Like I've called it, if you look at the back, USB Hub 7. Like, I was going to call it Smart Hub, but it's really not that smart. So, yeah, I don't know. So if I do I can't remember how to do this. How do I do a split view? If I go inspect, where is it? Section analysis. If I do a section analysis, and what plane am I going to do? Let's do this plane. Then I can go like this, and we can look inside. I'll do it like there, right? So we can kind of see how that's going to go. I can turn that on and off. So we can see that there's now a gap between these two. And the gap should be 3 millimeters. So we hit I, 1 millimeter. Oh, that's the PCB gap side. Sorry, right. So, and then this sits in here in that inset. And that's that bit of tolerance that I gave myself, the 0.4 tolerance. Sen's hub. That's actually not bad. Although the problem with that, Alan, is that how people aren't going to know how to say it. It's one of those confusing names that looks cool written, but how does someone tell someone else about it? Hey, have you seen the 7N's hub? This is like, you know what I mean? It's one of those, yeah, weird things. And if I do this, now we should see the PCB is sitting on the standoff, and the top of the PCB is sitting, the case is sitting on the PCB to hold it. 7 hub, baseline, and drums. Okay, so I think that works. I'm worried about how much clearance we've got here for the top, but anyway, so that works. So I should be able to turn that off now. Analysis off. Cool. So now we need to do the sides, and then I need to do the LEDs.
John Clayton says when printing will it need supports?
No, if well, it depends what finish I want. Oops. But if it's printed on the top like this, then there's no support, right? But then we get maybe not a nice finish on the top here. It depends. Depends on which plate I use. Yeah. So no, it's pretty won't be a problem. Okay, so let's do the sides, and then I need to do the LEDs, and I'll show you what I have in mind for the LEDs, and they're going to be maybe tricky. Let's start with this side. So I'm going to create a sketch, and I want to let's turn that off. Okay, I need the outline. No, not the model, the outline. Really? Oh, can I double click that outline to get it? No, I can't. Oh, that's frustrating. Sometimes you can double click and it'll connect joined, and sometimes it won't. And it really depends on how the mesh was made. Okay, I need that one. I need this one. No.
John Clayton says teardrop shaped holes do not need supports.
Teardrop shaped holes. Okay, but I don't have those. That and that. And I want to project them onto my surface. Okay, so now I wonder if that's actually selectable. No, it's not. Great. So yeah, it won't let me double click them. Oh, that's probably why. How many more am I missing? Okay, right. I just need to make them selectable. Little guy here. Okay. Cool. Can I double click him now? No. Ugh. It's frustrating.
John Clayton says for the LEDs.
Oh, no, 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 no. Absolutely not. You'll see. No, I don't do yuck little holes for LEDs. Firstly, it's the wrong type of LED, the surface mount. And no, we're doing something much nicer for the LEDs. Sorry. You must know me by now. So what I'm doing, I want to grab it and I need to make it slightly bigger. So I'm going to do like a point. I want it to be a fairly tight fit. So if I just go 0.2, wrong way, negative 0.2 to make it a bit wider. We'll do the same here. I'm not sure. See, the problem, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get the case on because the USBs are sticking out two ways and I'm not going to be able to slot. Shit. Now that's an interesting problem. What's if the back is part of the case? The case bottom. Okay, I reckon I'm going to have to change this case, but we'll get there. Has everyone worked out what the problem is? Pause the print, insert PCB. So I'm pretty sure I can't print with the PCB in place. I'm pretty sure. That'd be funny. Negative 0.2. That one's 0.2. I mean, it's positive. Okay. So that, and these ones. Won't let me do them both at once. Okay, these ones I can just crate driven, and no, I can't do crate. Forget crate driven. I'll do this. What was it? 2.8. So I need 3.4. It'll flex while you slide it in. I don't think so. So I just finish that for now. So the problem is, how, if I've got USB sticking out on this side and on this side, how do I get the PCB in? If I do one side in, I can't get the other side in unless this side is cut. And I have slots.
Alan Madsen says slide it in from the back so that the back becomes the lid.
Slide in from the back. So the back becomes... I don't understand that.
John Clayton says slice in the middle.
Yeah, no way I'm splitting the case. Not a chance. No way. That's going to look ugly forever. So my options are, right, that this... right, let me just show you. I'm not saying I like these options, but my options are that... Yeah, it's that way. Okay.
Alan Madsen says the side with the 2 USB is the back lid.
Side is the back.
Clayton says top to bottom slice, why not?
What? I'm not slicing the case in half because it's not happening. Let me just see how much room I got. That to that. Where is it? Oh wait, no, that's not right. You're supposed to be in. Okay. That to that. Did I do 5 or 4? 4. Let's make it 3 to make it even. And D to that. 3. No. Oh, damn it. Okay, so my option is... I haven't finished yet. Let me finish. Let me finish, John. I'm showing you. I'm doing something. What I would... So I would consider making this, that there, cut that out of the top, and making this part of the base. So the PCB gets inserted in, and this is part of the base face. And the rest connects. It means it's like those alloy extrusion cases where you slide the PCB in. Right, but either way, Alan, I still have to have a back plate. And if I need to have a back plate, that makes 3 parts, right?
John Clayton says similar, and it even works.
Thank you. So this, I don't have 3 parts to the case, because then I have to worry about... What do you mean, no? Well, then this is doing the same thing, but I don't have to slide it, right? The sliding thing, I don't... I know what you're saying. No, join the bottom to the case. I don't want to join the bottom to the case. I don't want the bottom and the top of the case to be one piece. I know what you're saying. You can hey, when I release this, you guys can redesign the case as much as you want. I'll release the files for this, no problem. But I want them to be separate pieces, intentionally to be separate pieces. So if I did this here, if I extrude this to there, okay, I now have a base that looks like this. Yeah. I'm a bit not happy about that, and I'll work on that. 'Cause I think I'm also going to have a clearance problem inside with the top and the top of the USB connect. I think I might have to lift this case slightly higher. Anyway, but I've got this, right? So if I now do the same thing, grab that, but grab it all. Really? You're not going to let me just grab it all? Oh my God. Really frustrating. And I extrude that out of the case, the top. Okay. That's the only problem. I extruded too far. Whoops. I only needed to extrude for 2. -2. Okay. That's better. So okay. So now that it's like this. Right? And I'll make it nicer on the corners and whatever. So join the back and bottom then. That's what I did. That's what I did. So this way it would get piece B would go in, insert it into the back, case goes on top and screw it together. I think that'll work. Yeah. Okay, so now I need to do the other side. Hello, Demons 9999. Shouldn't it be Demons 666? Sorry. Don't know when did I ever name that? Top. Oh my gosh. Top. So the PCB is inserted at an angle and then screwed down. Slicing would be. Huh? It's not inserted at an angle. This is just inserted. Hey, Technobulus. It's just inserted. There's no angle required. It's sitting flat here. Just pushes in. Pushes in till the holes line up. Or until it, until the PCB hits the wall. There's no angle. And there's no, then why would slicing be easy? This is fine. And the same with the top. The top can just slide on. I don't foresee a problem. Yeah. Or not yet. Now, we might run into a problem when I do the LEDs. Yeah, there's nothing stopping this from sliding on the case, right? Well, I don't know, maybe it goes into the top first. I don't know. I'll see. This might fail. It might fail. I could be missing something obvious here. I don't know. It would probably be easier if the back went around to this point. So if it wrapped around, that would probably make it easier because then it could literally slide in. These things here are probably causing it a problem to slide. And it might also look nicer, look less jarring if that was around to there. I don't know. Yeah, iterations prototyping is really quick, right? You just chop and hack. Let's just do the front plate. I need to do this. So create, sketch, and this time I'm going to grab just the one set, make it, and then these are all evenly spaced, the USB. So I'm going to just replicate it. Where's that gap that I missed last time? Oh, it must be on the other side because I flipped it. Looking from the other direction. So it'll be on this side. There it is. There it is. Oh, it's not John selectable, that's why. Okay. Fix it in post. Okay, and sketch, project. One. Okay, I need to enlarge it. Point 2. And what was my spacing? Does everyone remember what my spacing was? Nope. Is it 8? Was it 12? Yes, 12. So create rectangular pattern. It's quantity. Is that 12 more? No, it's 12 is the distance, you idiot. 12 spacing, and it's 7. Does that give me 8? 12. Yes, and it's 6 more. 6 more. Okay. So that's my spacing for the front. Finish. That, and that. I need to cut that from the top. Extrude. -2. Okay, so they're the holes for the USB at the front. Save. And the back I'll keep thinking about. So the LEDs. Now, I need to shape the top of the case isn't really finished how I want it. And so I need to do that before I can do the LEDs. So I'm actually going to... The case is currently 1.6, and I want it to be 2 millimeters. Give it a bit more thickness, I think. Oh, maybe 1.6 is fine. But I do want to lift it another... No, I actually do need it to be thicker. I do. So I need to extrude that 0.4 to get it back to 2, because I want to taper it. I want to taper the edge. But I think I need it to be just a bit more. I'm actually going to make that. I'm going to get even. Yeah, chamfer. Did I say tape? I meant chamfer. Yeah, chamfer the thing. I need a bit more headroom. I do. So I need that to actually be 0.8. And this to extrude 0.4, negative 0.4. So I'm still got the 2 millimeters distance, but I need a slightly more, because what I need to do is on the inside, I want this that's potentially going to be a problem. I need to put a small chamfer in here, and also want to do these. Don't like doing these edges like that. So it'll just be a small one-ish. So modify chamfer. I don't know how much space I've got. Can I do 0.5? 0.5. Do I have enough room here? I do. Okay. 0.5. Doesn't feel like enough. 0.6. Let's just do 0.6. Okay. And now here, I want to do a... No, can't. Bloody hell. Does anyone who uses Fusion know why sometimes I can double click to get it to select continuous and sometimes I can't? I'd love to know why. So this will be a 1 millimeter chamfer. Okay. Which leaves us how much thickness? 2.263. That's good. It's a Mac with Fusion. I don't have the issue on Windows. But I do. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yay for a Mac. You want to put wing supports in the sides of the screw extrusions. Printing in layers makes those weak. Wing support in the sides of the screw. I know what you mean. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know yet. I don't know. Possibly. Okay, so the way the LEDs are going to work. Here we go. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to create a sketch from the top. Or from this, all right? And I'm going to turn that off, put that on. And the LEDs are going to be like this. Whoa, where'd that just go? I want a rectangle. It's going to be 3 by 1. But no, I don't want to lock to that. So I need to build it the other way. Hang on. You know what I need to do instead? First, on this first one, is I need to project this. These are RGB LEDs. So project object that you're creating is not what? Oh my god. I turned the sketch off so I could get to it, and then I didn't turn it back on before I projected. That was stupid. Right. Project. Oh, they already projected. I just didn't have the sketch on. Okay, so now the center is it's not going to let me do the center. Great. I'm just going to make that a construction line, hit X. Okay, so I want to do a here to here. It's going to be not from there to there. I'm sorry. I'm doing this, thinking this on the fly as I'm going. It'll be sure that by 0.5. Same on the other side. 0.5. Okay. Hey, Cable Tie, what are we making? I'm making a first pass at a case for my USB hubby thing. That's okay. Okay, so I now need to grab this. Oh, no, I'm gonna. That's annoying. Yeah, grab that. Lock it. Lock it. No, lock it. Okay, fine. I'll make another line. Okay, and that's the same here. I need that one gone and that one gone and new line. Okay, so that, and that. And I need to do the same with the rectangular pattern. Spacing, there'll be quantity, will be another 6, and the spacing is 12. And that's the wrong direction. Black is the best kind of box, always. So cable tie, you're a free man now, aren't you? Okay, so they all line up. Oh, they're not great. Obviously my LEDs aren't exactly lined up. They are, kind of. The first one's in the center. These are all offset, but they're offset the same. No, that one's not. I have to check my LED positions. This will work fine, though. This will work fine. I'll officially retired. Yay! Congratulations, cable tie. Officially retired. You lucky, lucky bastard. Okay, so then we're doing this. Top. Turn that off. Oh, wait. What? Did I not make them go the whole way? Oh. What did I do? That was supposed to go all the way to there. Doesn't matter. I can go to there. Fine. They're a cutter, so it's okay. Turn it off. Okay, top. Okay, and we want them to go cut down 2. 2? Is 2 what we want? I think 2 is good. 2. Okay, so now we have these cutouts. And that's where the LEDs are going to shine through. And how they're going to shine through, you might ask. Well, we are going to have edge-lit acrylic as light pipes. So we're going to have magic tubes. Create. Sketch. I always turn off the wrong thing. So we have this. Wait, I should have measured first. How long is that? 1.883. 1.883. One point 1.8 is fine. And what's CTS stand for? What's CTS? Who said CTS? And How tall? I don't know. I didn't measure. Top. It's going to go from... Oh, this is going to be fun. How am I going to measure this? I need to measure from... I don't even know if this LED is right. The model. It's probably not exactly right. There is 10.211. Oh, right. 10.211 approximately. This is going to take a bit of experimentation. 10.2. Okay, so what we then have is finish that and that. We'll get extruded 1 millimeter, and this is a light pipe, and this will be transparent to acrylic clear. Who knows if that's even going to be visible? Probably not. No. Let's make it so we can see it. Acrylic red. There we go. So these are going to be light pipes that go down to the LED. And it's edge lit, right? So edge lit acrylic, well, you all know about edge lit acrylic. That's how you get the nice glowy things on the acrylic, right? As in TBM type tunnel. What? What are we talking about? Central tunnel support. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So edge lit acrylic will get slotted into, and what I'll probably want to do is have a like a guide down the sides of the front here. So when they slide in, it's not just like kind of hanging and sitting. It'll actually be in a channel, right? So, but each of the light pipes are going to go along like that, and they'll sit in there. So if I go, if I call that light pipe 1, really? It doesn't like the 1. Copy, paste. Let's move it. -12. And on this one, I can make that one amber. And on another one, copy. What the hell? What mode am I in? Copy, paste. 12. Might as well do them. Copy, paste. There's probably an easy way of doing this. Whatever. And I want to do the same thing for the back ones. But the back ones are not RGB LEDs, right? So, but that's okay. It still should work. They just probably won't be as bright. Where's all the rest of my cool colors? Maybe translucent's got colors. We can just use translucent colors for now, can't we? Like, why can't I have blue acrylic, green acrylic? What else can I use to do the colors? Metal, liquid, glass. And there's a color glass, color density, smooth glass. Ooh, not enough colors. Where's all the colored stuff? What about liquid? Do we have colored liquid? No. Not enough textures. Laser cut acrylic, I think. Yeah, what? Those light... Yes. Neither. Not glued, and they're laser cut. They'll be laser cut acrylic light pipes. You don't have to do that. That's what I'm going to make with my case. If other people want to do something different, they can. 3D printing them is going to look terrible. 3D printing light pipes doesn't work. Doesn't matter what material you used. I've bought every type of transparency type clear material, and it doesn't transfer color nicely at all. So yeah, but acrylic looks nice. Anyway, let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to do the same thing on the back.
Cian, Chad has disconnected.
Because I don't have off-the-shelf light pipes, and I need them I want them in a specific shape. I want them to be part of the taper like this. Actually, probably don't want them to go all the way down, maybe just to the edge of the thing. Anyway, because this is aesthetically, this is what I want, and you can't buy them like that. I mean, why? You all know me. Why? I don't design something that's isn't what I want, but is easier. I always design things that I want. Like I envisage something in a certain way, and that's the way I design it. And I've got all the capability here to make these. And if I ended up with this as a final case design, once I've polished it up, I'm happy to print and assemble parts for stuff if people want them. I understand that most people won't have a 3D printer and a laser cutter and whatever, but they don't have to do this either. But I don't have to source and buy stock of light pipes. And I don't want to be confined to how those light pipes look, and then how would I mount them. Does that make sense? Like I think, yeah. So if I go back to here, top. What am I seeing? Said I wanted to be in the sketch. Edit sketch. It's not letting me edit the sketch. What is going on? Probably because it was off. Okay, it's really getting annoying. So what I can do is dangle. It's getting frustrating. 0.5. It's 0.4 millimeter nozzle. I can really only do 0.4. Well, that's not what I want. Try that again. This side's a problem because I don't have enough space. But on this side, maybe 1 millimeter. So then, just to show, right? Why is it not centered? Thank you. Assuming I've got clearance, but I would do. So there'll be something like this on the inside of the case that'd slot in. So they won't move around or whatever. You can use acrylic dots if you want, but I don't want dots. I hate dots. Why would I want? Yeah, no. If I could get square USB connectors, not oval, I'd do that too. Like I don't want curves. Hello, Quindor. How you doing? So if I do something like that, I need to turn these off. Or join. right? That'll just allow the light pipe to wrong end to just have some support. Unfortunately, I can actually make that go. Why don't I just make that go all the way to there? That's a good point. If I've gone through the other side, I have. It's okay. Okay, so that one will be like that, and then there'll be like a 1 millimeter on each side. So I have to go and do that. So it's just now a matter of, well, I've got to do the same on the back. All right, there'll be a cutout for the LEDs for these two. I'm not sure how well it's going to work. Right, or you just print a different, you just change the design to have dots if you want. Okay, so I need, these are M2.5 holes. I didn't really have enough space for 3 millimeter holes. Well, I probably could have in the end. Anyway, I need, so the top's going to need, if we just move off from that for the moment, these are going to be heat insert, and I don't know if I've given myself enough room. Where am I heat? I've got so many bags of heat inserts. So many bags of all different sizes. But in 2.5, it's 2.5. Need to measure the diameter. I think I need 3.2. Was it 3.4 on these ones? Wait, is that 2.5 or M2? Looks like M2. Yeah, they're M2. Thought they looked too small. That's better. Okay, so let me just check it. Put a screw in it. Wait, is that an M3? Oh my god, that's an M3. It'd be nice if I labeled the bags. And these ones are labeled. M2.5. Oh my god, how hard was that? Again, check it. Yay. Okay, calipers. I need, 3.5. Really need 3.5. Wait, how big's that? 3.5. Okay. So 3.5. And where are we at? 2.5. So I need to go Q minus 0.5. That'll give us a 3.5 hole. But that's not really very thick. Yeah. I think I'm going to need to make those bigger. It's not going to let me grab these ones as well. Selected. Okay, try that again. That one, and that one. Q 0.5 minus 0.5. Okay. So they're for the heat insert. Probably want to only do that part of the way down. Okay. Wow. Some stuff because I didn't like the CEMI testing results. Ooh, really? Power supply stuff. So what am I going to do with the back? Am I going to do this on the back? Am I going to make it come all the way around? I feel like it'll look nicer. Or at least to the edge, but I feel like it's going to look nicer if it goes all the way around. Complex power supply, multiple converters, but also 50 megahertz crystals, Ethernet, and a few other things. Oh, is that all? Okay. Good luck. Good luck. So what do you all think? Like, I feel like the LEDs need to be closer to the USB ports. And I can do that. Firstly, right now they're I could rotate them. I don't want to. But either way, I can shift them over. Like I feel like they're too far away. Now that I see them on the case, the indicators are too far away. I feel like they need to be. I can't make them over the top, but they need to be at least a millimeter over if I can. I'm glad I didn't put this into fab. But if I rotated them and got the cap out the way, then I can get them even further over, right? So it's currently sitting at 4.58, and it was at 2.61. So that's 2 millimeters. I've got it moved. So I was trying to use a certain IC for power supply, but I fear it's just too noisy. So now designing a different method with different IC. Was it an IC with a built-in inductor, or like one of those monolith power supplies ones, or was it an external inductor one? You need to see if you can find one that's got an internal inductor so they're matched and they give you, as long as you have a bit of a stub and a way of filtering the out. Not with built-in inductor. I'm not that rich. Right. Well, that's the problem, right? But then you end up paying for it at testing or whatever, right? You look at how much extra those ICs cost compared to your time and testing costs and everything else, and they're just a no-brainer. I know, it's I get it. So 2 millimeters, that'll be pretty significant, right? That would be, I'm just going to move it forward just a fraction in case we can't see it. Negative 0.1. So that would put it there, which I think would look nicer than where it is now. It's a pity I can't get it right over the top. Designing is fun. Okay, so shall I do that? How long have I been streaming for? Jeez. Almost 2 hours. Holy moly. So what do you reckon, folks? We're going to move it to, and I'm going to, I want to rotate it on the pivot. So let's go away. Go away. LED in. Wait, we're at the right height. 50.595. Should be 50.6. Just we should standardize them all. Round it off a bit. Make it up by selling a few thousand units. Sure. Those chips aren't that expensive that are built-in inductors. Depends what your power requirements are. Okay, so move that out of the way. No, wrong way. There, move it. Actually, do them all at the same time. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Move it out of the way. That. Rotate them. And move them over 2 millimeters. 2. Okay, now we put 3.3. And LED in. It's going to have to. Have to clean this up. Catch you later, John. Thanks for your help and your suggestions. Take care. Wait, that's not ground though. Oh no. Okay, I'll have to redo those because a freaking Vi's touched them and changed the net name. It pisses me off. KiCad should ask me. Okay. The problem with rotating it like I just did is the it puts all the data in and out in a weird position. As you can see, I'm now doing out here, right, and in comes from here. So I now get like backwards, like out here goes to in there. SQUiXL would fix their traces. See, I'm kind of... It's a bit weird. It is a bit weird. Don't know if I'm a fan. Don't know. Bit worried that they might be a little bit too close to the USB connector for rework or something if needed, but we'll see. Okay, so in. Oh, why am I that? Okay. So out. V. What is that there for? In. Out. In. So it's kind of backwards, but if I rotate it the other way, I'd have to put 3.3 volts at the very top, and I don't have 3.3 volts going all the way up there. I can't get 3.3 volts to that. Or maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Whoops. Okay, where's my 3.3 volts? Oh, I do have 3.3 volts all the way up there. See, I do. That's 3.3 volts. So I could spin it around. I know, but I could, if I did this, but I can't get the LED low enough, close enough. I don't want it that far away. This is gonna work. This will be fine. Go away. Make sure I got grounds on them. Okay, so let's just check DRC. We are good. Again, still needs lots of cleanup. I'm back. Is it done? Yeah, very funny. What manufacturer makes some that are like below $1? Sorry, you mean below $10, right? Below $1, not a chance anywhere ever. Not even weird Chinese stuff, I don't think. You're not going to get, at scale, you might get them down to like $3, US $3 maybe. But hang on, how much is your IC and your inductor and other components required for it to make it work? You're telling me all of it together, your inductor, your IC, any specific passives for it and everything else is below $1? Right, but can you make a circuit that'll pass below $1 with all the other things on the board? Is the question. But anyway, sorry, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging you. I'm sure you can, Quindor. And I know you can solve it. No problem. Done, no nasty light tubes needed. What? Have a solution, use reverse mount LEDs with a hole. Mount to the top. LEDs are shining through the PCB hole and the case hole. No thank you. I don't want a hole with an LED at all. I want a light pipe. I want acrylic edge-lit light pipe. And why do I want to mount another PCB, but to the top? Or you're telling me that the PCB needs to mount upside down inside the case. So it's mounted to the top of the case, upside down. Really? You can design a PCB that way. Yeah, I don't want this to be used upside down. And by the way, do you know how big reverse mount LEDs are? Huge. I use them in client products. The smallest you can get requires this much space. That much space for the LED. Huge. So yeah. Not up, down. It's all your perspective. Okay, so I'm going to export this as R2. Catch you later, Peter. Have a good day. Don't work too hard. Okay, and now I can right-click, import new change. Drag. Upload. And it'll update this, and then I need to go through and fix the sketch. Oh, what a pain. While it's doing that, I'll fix this sketch. I need to move them all over I need to move 2 millimeters. That, and that, and that. Move. Make sure they move as well. You're not going to let me move because it's constrained. Okay, I need to move it all. No. What happened to my selection? It will be a window. But I only want to select it's off the edge of the screen. I only want to select edges. Okay. What? Are they not? Oh, that's body edges. I need sketch curves, points, profiles. I think. No, I just want the edges. Okay, I don't even know what they are, which ones they are. Select all. Let's go back. Okay, I need that, 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 that. All of those. And I'll need these. And that's what the constrained part is, and that's why it's not letting me move, I think. Yeah. I need to get rid of these constraints. Okay, can I move those now? Let's see if I can move just those three. Nope. What else is constraining it? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to choppy. Oh, I can't choppy that. Deletey. Why can't I get rid of that line? That line. Okay, put that one back. Probably just broke my thing. Broke the extrude. Okay, well, what are you going to do? That might also be constrained. Nope. Okay, move it over 2 millimeters. Will they move? No. Or you can maintain symmetry by mounting the USB ports on a 30-degree. That's funny. Okay, finish. So now remove the light pipes. This here shows orange that it needs to be updated. So you click up here and that'll update it. New PCB. Eventually. Okay, so they do look closer. So I think that's clearer which one the LED is for. Oh, see? And they line up now because I moved them. Good, good. And this is upload progress, but it's finished. So I don't know what it's doing. Okay, so I'm unsure. So the only way to know for sure is to render it. Oh no, no, no. We need setup. What? Oh, this one. Environment. What do we need? We need a nice skylight, sharp highlights, and we want to actually see the environment. Reflections, of course. Oh. They should be blue. Blue and white? That might look nice, you know. The back's pretty boring. I don't like how the USB sticks out. I really don't. So my options are to pull the USB back further so they line up, which I can do. I've got enough room for. But I won't know until I get them. But I then, if I have to do it on the PCB, it's too late by then, right? I don't want to make the case bigger. Firstly, because the buttons won't reach. I don't like that light grey at all. At all. Gotta be darker, dark grey. I have to find the right PLA, matte PLA. Where's the reflections? Reflections should be on. Not liking this sky dome. Let's put it. Should we put it outside in a snow field? Let's put it on a dry lake bed. Let's download that. Put it in the natural habitat. There we go. Everyone has their USB hubs It's the wrong way round. The lighting's the wrong way round. Where do I change the zenith position? Here we go. It's too bright. Why can't I close that? Why is it still on the screen? Ready for crowdfunding. Woo. Yeah, I don't know. Unsure. Photo booth. Skylight. Anyway, okay, so it's also taller than I was originally planning. If I don't go the 2-color thing, if I just made it all black, matte black, or if I made it all matte grey, I feel like I need to shrink it down. I feel like it's too tall. I don't know. I'll probably end up just doing them black. How much you can drop the base down to keep symmetry between top and bottom? Yeah, I'll have to not a lot, unfortunately. Not unless, okay, let's get out of here. Not unless I need to put that back to, I'd have to have the case come all the way down and fit all the way around the outside, right? So you won't see the base. That'll allow me to do that. No. I can definitely shrink the base now. The base is... The reason I had the base so tall... Why is it not letting me select the edge? Select everything. Weird. Just some weird things. That's 3mm, and then there's extra millimeter there and millimeter for the standoff. And I really don't like it. This. If I got rid of the standoff, I could shrink a bit. But that's the thing. I need... Well, no, the inserts are on the inside. What I need is clearance for the head of the screws. So I need a... So what I really need is, 5 diameter and let's call it 2. So I need a... Is that the... Well, I've already got the 5 diameter there. Okay. So... Oh, it's on the wrong side. Okay. Let's just do this. 5. Okay, and I need... So that's 3, but I've got that extra there, but that's eating into... Is it eating in? No. Okay, so if I make this extrude -3, I only need 2, then I can make this extrude -1. So I can make the base 2 millimeters instead of 3, so that's 1 millimeter saved. And I've got an inset here for the screw head. We've saved 1 millimeter. Now, I could get, if I got rid of the standoff, and did cut-ins instead, like I was going to originally do for the feet, for the peg legs, then that can bring it down another millimeter. So let's get rid of these. Oops, missed one. And all I need to do is which I was going to do at the start, and I think it was just the better technique, I think, for getting it more compact. I don't think these ones will need, but just in case. Wait, I'm missing. No, that's right. Okay. So I did it for the meter case I made. Yeah. So now I can do this and that. Okay. Minus 0.4. Okay. So now that's sitting too high. I need to move that back up again. Oh no. Remember I offset the bottom of the base? It won't let me move the actual hub. If I re-add it, I can move it down. Either way, these back holes, everything's going to be in the wrong spot now. Let me just move all of this up 1 millimeter. So everything's off by 1 now. But if I drop the top 1 millimeter, I think I should have pretty close to symmetry, I think. Let's find out. If I go okay, 4.124 shit, wrong one. And 4.736. So 0.6. We're 0.6 too high. If I drop the top 0.6, it'll be symmetrical. And then we would have saved 1.6 millimeters overall on the height, which I think will make it look a bit nicer. Yeah. And grab those. Oops. Oh my god. And move them down. Wait, am I down or up? Down. Down. Oh, really? Not going to let me move them because, again, it's freaking constrained. It'd be easier if they had a way just to be able to click on it and say unconstrained rather than have to go through every single point. Would be nice. Okay, let's try that again. So I should be able to just move this one now. 1. Yay. Finish. Oh no, I went the wrong direction. Undo. 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 Move. Up 1. Finish. Okay. So, it's the same for the back. Bloody constraints. Okay, I'll do that later. Can't be bothered doing it now. So, come on. 2.5 hours, and I reckon everyone's gone to sleep except for some locals. 18 people still. Okay, I think. Where's my chamfer gone? I've lost my chamfer on the top of the case. Oh. Oh, no, I haven't. Thank you. I was in the sketch. I think that once I bring the top down a bit, so do you think I should? Let me just back up that and back up that. Turn them off. I can't decide if I should extrude, cut, and then extrude to extrude to there. So if I do that, so it goes all the way down, so you don't see the base visually, and it just sits around it. But I still think I'm gonna have a problem with this getting it on if I do that. I can't decide if the two-tone top and bottom is good or bad. And if I do this, I could do it with the two-tone anyway. I could obviously taper around it, so it's not just flat like it, I'll have to sit on this and think a bit. I would like to get it more compact, but these USB things are the problem. Yeah, they're... Oh, Peter, you're back. Yeah, they are here. From the back. So an M2.5 screw goes in from the bottom, and the head sits inside. So not a countersunk screw head, just a a normal M2.5 black screw, like a button head, whatever they are, but it'll be recessed inside here. Yep. Probably with a little bit of a taper on here anyway. Just for aesthetics. Not taper, chamfer. God, what do I keep saying taper for? Yeah. But they'll sit inside and they'll be recessed. Rubber feet might be nice, but I do rubber feet on the docks for my SQUIXL, but they're just a pain. But I could do that. Put 4 slight insets that the rubber feet sit into. See, that height problem here is I just don't know, until I get these in my hand, I don't know if these come off or not. And I really want to push the USB connectors back so they sit flush. Or more flush at least, where I can taper. Again, taper. Fuck, excuse my language. Why do I keep saying taper? No, not 0.1. 0.5. So the USBs have like this, and it kind of sits a bit more. Oh, I can't really move it and show. You're back. Are you watching from work? Or you didn't go into work today? I mean, is it terrible having them stick out like this? You're watching from work, okay. Does it really look bad looking like this? Or would it look better? Can't believe I'm going to do this just for shits and giggles. Or does that look better? So you prefer it sticking out than flush? Yeah, flushed or recessed. So, I mean, that's flush. Like if it's flush, I don't know if it needs a little bit of a chamfering, but if I make it slightly recessed like that, yeah. Oh, there's always a bit of a gap, like only a slight recess. The problem with recessing it is then you see the gap around the case. That becomes a lot more obvious if it's not a tight fit. Where having them stick out slightly, it's still there, but it's occluded, right? You can't see the gap on each side, top and bottom a little bit, because it's occluded by what's sticking out. But to solve it, it's got to be on the PCB. I can't solve it with the case unless I make the case bigger. And as I said, if I make the case bigger, the buttons won't fit. They won't stick out far enough to be usable. Okay, 2.5 hours. I'm going to go get a coffee. I'm going to take a break from this. but the yeah, I'll make a decision on the PCB, the USB positions. I have to move them 1.2 millimeters back. So, I mean, it's not going to be a terrible change. Not totally terrible. Like, if I just grab these now, the LEDs would stay. So it's really just that would move down. Oh, hang on.
Super chat.
1.2. Thanks, Matt. Awesome. I will have a coffee on you. Thank you. Very generous of you. Thank you. Appreciate it. So it'll just be like that, right? Moving them back and just hopefully it should be fairly straightforward. So like that. So now I've got a USB that's sitting further back just by 1.2 millimeters. I think I'll do that. And I need to decide before I length match. So now would be the time. And I have the room. Like you can see here, I've got ample room. Ample. Yeah. Whoa, what happened? Stupid kikehead. Why does it, look at that, it moves to this and then it starts doing that. Is there a join there? No? So why is it doing that? And now it's not doing it. Oh my. Yeah, okay. I'll move them down. I'll move these ones up. There is, that's going to be a problem for the screw. No, it won't. Okay, because there's no screw touching it. We would be making sure that it doesn't interfere with the plug. Oh, you said, yes, I saw that already. Yeah, well, yeah. There's always a gap. There's always like a couple of millimeters, bit of a gap. Yep. Okay, folks. Wicked. I made some progress. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And hopefully for next, I will definitely have this PCB in to be fabbed before next week, but obviously it won't be back by next week. So might have to wait 2 weeks for that and then I have to build one to see if it works. I've got all the parts here for them, so that's good. Yep. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Those of you stuck around. Those that I missed saying goodbye to. Bye. And I'll catch you all next week. Have a fantastic week. Stay safe. I posted a photo of one of my hubs on Discord. Slight recess. Yeah, the ones I've got too have got a slight recess. That's actually a bit more of a recess than... hang on. For those that can't see, let me just go back to... Yeah. So yeah, that's actually more of a recess than I just did. I got the chamfer. That looks like it's sitting in like 0.5 millimeter from the chamfer. Mine was sitting roughly where the chamfer was. But yeah. I think it'll look better if it was a bit more recessed. For sure. Okay. Ooh. Goodbye, Farm Tech to Kim. And hello. And unless I missed you earlier in the chat. But thank you for popping in and saying hi. And Lachlan. Lockie. I was thinking about you last week, thinking I've not heard from you, spoken to you or anything, and I thought I was going to make it to John's on the weekend, and I didn't. And I'm so glad you're in the chat here, and I really want to catch up with you and see how you're doing. Chamfer the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to chamfer the bottom as well. I need to decide, though, if it's going to be the outside case that gets chamfered, or if it's going to be a visible base that gets chamfered. Either way, it will be, because yes, that will make it look thinner. Time to learn FreeCAD. I don't think so. If I'm going to learn anything new right now, it'll probably be Altium, not FreeCAD. I'm being honest, right? But anyway, yeah. Okay, folks. Thank you all. Have a great week, and I'll catch you all later. Bye. Except, where's the close button? The close button's gone in OBS. The stop button. The not the stop button, sorry, the end stream. I can't get to my stream ending screen. Close the window, open the window, and oh, it's back. Okay. Software. Software sucks. Everyone should build hardware. Bye, everyone.